Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Dell Precision. This is a 7560. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. We'll get a thumbnail real quick. Alright, we're going to need a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver to remove the screws from the bottom. My customer said that they were trying to upgrade it. Okay, they put a 4 terabyte SSD and for some reason it's not reading it. So let's go ahead and open it up and take a look. Alright, looks like the screws stay attached to the bottom case. So don't worry about removing them. Just undo the screws until you hear them click, then you know that they're loose. Okay. Alright. Alright, and I think that's it. Oh, one more screw. Okay, now that we got all the screws removed, let's see how we can pop this cover off. So, does it come from this way? It looks like it's going to have to go from this side. Alright, so what you do, fingernail or pry tool in the front, you can see how the palm rest separates, okay? And then you just go like that, and it seems to come off super easily. Alright, we gotta swing it this way because this part sticks out. And there you go, there's the bottom cover. Comes off really nice and easy. Okay, so as you can see, they already upgraded it. They put some OWC RAM in here. They said for some reason this middle SSD port isn't working. And then they said there's one in the corner that's working. So I'm not too sure which one in the corner they're referring to because I'm only seeing this one SSD slot. Oh, I see. He probably was talking about these two. So you can see there's multiple slots here. Let me actually get a thumbnail. Okay, I'm assuming he hasn't had any OS installed on here. So yeah, let's go ahead and remove this screw. Okay, looks like the SSD is held in with a metal plate on top, so we'll undo that as well. Okay, now that we undid that, this pops out, and the SSD is here. So he was using this 990 Pro, and yeah, he said for some reason that it only works in these slots. So I'm going to see what happens if I use this Crucial P3 Plus. This is a M.2 PCIe SSD, PCIe 4.0. It says no hybrid Optane or SATA, so this is only PCIe NVMe supported. Okay, so we'll get this in, make sure to click it in all the way. I'm wondering if maybe he didn't click it down all the way because there's this plastic tray here, so maybe this plastic tray is what's preventing him from pushing it in properly. Okay, this is sitting down right, so we'll get the screw in first. I'll test it. I'll try running a Windows install, see if it sees my USB, and if it does, then, or my SSD, if it does, then we'll see about putting his back and testing that. Okay, so we already got the drive in there. Let me get my bootable Windows USB, if I didn't lose it somewhere. Okay, here we go. Alright, so we're gonna just boot this before we close it, but you can see there's two other M.2 SSD slots here. I'm actually curious, does it say what type on this? Doesn't say anything there. It says M.2 number 3. That's all it just says. It's just numbered, I guess. Okay. I'm assuming this one just says M.2 number 2 or something. M.2 number 5. How many slots are there in this laptop? Really? Are there more? I don't know, but that's weird. Okay, let's get this screw back in. Maybe there's other slots. Oops. The magnet took my... Give it back. Okay. Maybe there's other slots underneath this tray. Is that what it is? Because if that's the case, then this thing has, yeah, 5. Is there? I only see one connector there. I don't know. I only see one connector there, so I don't know why they're saying 5. Maybe there's some more hidden on the other side of the motherboard or something like that. But that's weird. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and flip this over, boot my USB, and see what we got. Okay, so we're going to open this up. Connect the USB over here. power this up. Is it turning on? You have to kind of like hold the button or something. Or did the battery die? Or does it need the bottom cover on to turn on? It's not doing anything right now with my SSD. Let's put the bottom cover back on just in case. I don't see any. Is there a little switch or thing? It's interesting. I don't see anything that would tell it that the bottom cover is left open, but maybe I'm just not seeing it. So let's go ahead and get this piece back on. Okay, this metal plate has a little hook that you want to hook it on inside. Let me see if I can zoom in to show you this. Okay, so there's a little hook on the end here that you need to make sure it goes into that little notch. Okay, we'll get this screw back in. Alright, and now let's go ahead and get the bottom cover back on. Okay. It'll be weird if it's not having the cover on prevents it from turning on, but we'll see. Alright, so you gotta do it at an angle. Get that back side in first. Make sure all the ports line up. And then we'll get that, and we'll just tighten these screws down. Do I need to tighten all of them down to get it started? Probably not. I'm assuming it's probably just the battery's low or dead or something. But anyways, I'll just do those 3 for now. Let's see if it turns on. Or if it needs all the screws screwed in. I don't know, that'd be kind of weird. Alright. Power button. I think it needs the charger. Okay, I'm going to have to ask the customer for the charger because it looks like it's not turning on. Okay, give me a second. I'll be back. Alright, we got the charger. Let's go ahead and plug it in. Okay, power it up. There we go. The keyboard is lighting up now, so we should be good. And let's see. Oh, do I need to plug this in to test it? Okay, there's no OS on it, so let's plug in the USB here. Restart. We'll press F12 to boot from the USB. Okay, one-time boot menu. So we see my USB. I don't see any SSD there, but let's go ahead and boot it and see what happens. So I'm going to load my Windows installer. Windows 11, boot normally. Okay, let's go ahead and see. I'm curious because I don't know what he did to test if his other SSD is working or not, but I guess we'll see if my SSD is detected. Okay, next, agree, next. Let's see what happens. Come on. Okay, we'll accept. It should be detecting the drives now. Yep, searching for disks. And yeah, it doesn't detect the SSD at all. That's weird. So it must be that port is actually bad. So I'm going to just shut this down because it doesn't work with his SSD either. So it looks like something's wrong with the port itself. Let me see if maybe there's a BIOS setting. I kind of doubt it. But sometimes the BIOS will have an option to disable the ports. So let's see, boot configuration. Okay, see that. Enable SD card boot, no. Secure boot deployed. Secure boot is off. Overview, integrated devices. We shouldn't need to change any of this. I don't see anything that looks weird. Storage. This is where, this is where it should have AHCI, NVMe. So both of them, you can see it's on. 1, 2, and 1 and 2, 0, 1 and 2. So there are only 3 according to the thing here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load defaults, load factory defaults. Let's try that. Okay, we'll load factory defaults. And sometimes the BIOS gets messed up and then it has some issues like that, but this is seeming like it might be a hardware issue. I'm going to press F2. Come on. It takes so long for this thing to wake up. Okay. Come on, what happened? Why is the screen just black? The keyboard's lit up, so it's doing something. There we go. Okay, F2. Oh, it's probably because it's resetting the BIOS settings. Let's see, did it turn Secure Boot back on manually by itself? Boot configuration. Secure Boot's still off, okay. Storage, okay, that's all the same. Anyways, we'll just apply changes, and then we didn't make any changes, so it shouldn't do anything, but anyways, exit. Now let's try booting again. If it still doesn't detect it, then likely something is wrong with the first slot. Come on, wake up. Okay. Is it restarting a second time because it thinks I changed BIOS settings? Okay, so I see my USB again. I don't see the SSD. Go back to Windows, normal. Okay, let's try it again. And then I'll kind of go over more of the internal components since I have to put the SSD back. I mean, you saw how to put the bottom cover in, you just have to put the rest of the screws. Next, I agree, next. Okay. Yeah, if this doesn't work, I'll have to let the customer know. They'll probably want to move their SSD to a different spot or leave the SSD out so they can return the laptop to the seller. Let's see, searching for disks, and yep, it doesn't see it. So anyways, it looks like the issue with this is actually the motherboard. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna turn this off. Okay. Can't see the SSD, so that means it's not the SSD, it's the slot. Let's go ahead and take the rest of the screws out. It looks like this laptop doesn't like to turn on without, either the battery was low and died, or it doesn't like to turn on without, what do you call? It doesn't like to turn on without the bottom cover on. Okay, let's go ahead and pop this back out again. Alright, so that didn't do anything. Alright, I'll just go over the internal components real quick now for you guys to see. But other than that, yeah, we're likely going to end up just taking this out. You saw how to already put it back together, so I'm not going to show that again. But we'll go over the little components, and then I'll see what my customer wants to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a closer look here. This is two separate boards here. You can see this connector connects the two together. And there's two separate layers. One is higher than the other. GPU is on this side, CPU is over here. They are soldered to the board, so you can't replace them. Though if the board, I don't know if these two pieces are separable so that the CPU and GPU can be moved, but you can see how they have like this little connector here. It's like that underneath here as well. Okay, so you got 2 sticks of RAM. I'm not sure what type this is. What is this? D42R832. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But let me see. Do I have some comparable RAM to see here? This is PC4. So this is DDR4 RAM. I think it's DDR4. Yeah, DDR4 RAM. Okay. Again, there's 3 slots for M.2 SSDs. There's a connector here for WWAN card, wireless, with the SIM card slot here. Regular wireless card here with the little metal plate on top. 2 antennas. You go from the tail, pull it up, and they'll pop out. Battery connectors here. It's a pull connector. If you want to remove it, model number is PKWVM on this little corner here. PKWVM. All right, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. I think actually 1, 2, 3. I think only these 3 screws hold the battery in. So once you pull that out, you can actually pull the tab up and it will go up at an angle like this. Fan connector there. You got the DC jack charge port connector here, which runs underneath the heatsink. Most likely you would have to take the heatsink out to get this out. I don't think you can slide that cable under this little gap here without doing that. Another fan connector here. You got a little connector here, which I'm not too sure where it's going, but it looks like it's going up into this corner here. So yeah, I'm not going to be taking out everything here, so this is just a more simple, I think that's for the power button probably. I don't know if the fingerprint reader's in there. What are all these little connectors here? Darwin, huh. There's a bunch of random little connectors here I've never seen before. Another little connector there, and it looks like if you want to take more of it apart, you have to take a lot of these plastic pieces and stuff out. So yeah, this one looks like the the LCD LVDS connector is split into two pieces here, and there's a metal plate on top, and then you have the pull tabs to get them out. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out, at least to see what's inside this computer. Thanks for watching. If it helped, like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. If you can't help out that way, or I don't even know where I left off, but I do have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More, which I put all my review videos on separate without these videos there. So if you want to watch those, yeah, same profile picture but zoomed in. I currently put those videos on this channel as well, but eventually I'm going to split them off most likely. So yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. You know how to put the bottom cover back on. I showed it earlier. And yeah, sorry I didn't do more of a teardown, but the customer's only issue was that, and I don't want to risk making other things get damaged, and also they're waiting outside. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye. One other thing, if you want to remove this plastic tray, the way you do that, there's a little tab here. You slide that back, and then you can pull that out. All right, so yeah, pretty simple. All right, not really much else to say. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Make sure to lock that back.